we're focusing on grabbing what might be your first job, or maybe you've got a few under your belt and you're considering a level up, a promotion. In most cases, you'll need above average resume skills to make it happen. Today, we're talking about top resume fails and how to fix them. Your next episode of Career Growth Made Easy is up now. I was an engineer and in 2008 lost my job due to the economic collapse. Jobs were scarce. I didn't know where to turn to get help updating my resume. Online services and coaches charge hundreds, even thousands of dollars. I took matters into my own hands and learned how to craft interview-winning resumes. Shortly later, I landed a job with a Fortune 500 company. I've helped many achieve similar success. Now I share my tips to create interview-winning resumes, interviewing excellence, and high-performance growth strategies on my podcast, Career Growth Made Easy. I'm Career Coach Craig, and welcome back to the Career Growth Made Easy show. Today we're rolling into episode 207, Top Resume Fails and How to Fix Them. Thanks for joining us. I've seen hundreds, perhaps thousands of resumes by this point. They come in all kinds, formats, different templates. Some use them, some don't. Some go off the creative edge and just do it on their own and come up with their own styles. It may work for some, and it certainly doesn't work for others. It really depends on how creative you are and how receptive the hiring company is. Today, we're sharing the most common problems resumes have, the why, and how to fix them. I know the word resume is no one's favorite topic. I get it. And once we realize that we need them, we have to have them, especially if you're looking for a job. Perhaps it might be your first job you're looking for, or you've got a couple jobs nailed down, a couple under your belt. Maybe, though, you're interested in a promotion, either at the same job at work, like leveling up, or you feel like you've built some confidence, some abilities, some strengths, and you're looking elsewhere to switch roles from one company to another way of leveling up, but moving from one role to another. It might be in the sense of a promotion where you get a title change, something of stronger value, greater authority. Maybe that interests you. It could be greater responsibility, potentially being a leader, a co-leader, a supervisor of a team, and then, of course, pay. Benefits. In the end, money does make the world go round. It shouldn't be our primary driver, but often it is. To make those things happen, to earn a promotion, to earn more money, it's great to have a solid resume. However, many people don't know what resumes are for. They just react emotionally, usually with a shrug, a sigh, or a strong emotional response that heavily includes negativity. Did you kind of roll your eyes when you first heard about this show? Top resume fails? Oh, wow. Oh, wait, whoa. And how to fix them? I think I'm going to tune in. Okay, I know the word resume is nobody's favorite. I've just said that. But it's what I'll call a necessary evil. It's something that most employers expect you to have and typically require. They require a resume upon job application submissions. So I'm simply trying to help you get there, simply trying to help you achieve success faster by talking through common fails. I mean, hey, why not? You'll likely need a resume anyway, so what's wrong with going through a few minutes of crash course training? Now, the cool part about today's show, while I've seen hundreds, potentially 1,000 or more resumes, that's awesome. That's like a feather in my cap. But this show is not about me. It rarely is. It's about you. It's about helping you see your path for advancement, your path for career growth. And, of course, through the show title, we're trying to make it easy for you. And you truly can by picking up the right tips, the right pointers, and helping you advance in your career, grow in your career a little more quickly than others. Sure, our careers, our jobs may have some struggles. Nothing in this world is easy and nothing is perfect. At least nothing is easy that you really want to achieve. It just doesn't come to you for most people. So why are we talking about resumes? Well, we don't know why. Most of us don't know why we need a resume in the first place. Yes, it's a necessary evil, but Do you actually know, listening to this show, do you know why you have a resume or why you need a resume, why you're tuned in? That might be a difficult question to answer. Well, everybody tells me I need one. I'm out of high school now. I'm out of college now. Or, oh, it's time to get my first job. Whatever situation you're in, I guess I need a resume. But how do you do that if you're looking for one of your first jobs, or maybe you've got a couple under your belt and you're thinking about a promotion? If you have limited experience, but you're hungry, you're really assertive, and you're like, I want more. I want to give more. I want to get paid more. I just want more in the world. That's great to be hungry, and I truly recognize that and support that. We have to watch out, though, the difference between being assertive, which is hungry and driven, I'd say, and aggressive, which is kind of pushing a little too hard, a little too fast. So there's a balancing act there. And really, that's not the focus of today's show, but I just kind of wanted to give you that extra pointer there. Talking about, though, today's topic, top resume fails. Would you believe it or not? But too many people worry about loading up their resumes with content, especially if you're in the early stages of your career, first job or first couple of jobs. Load up the resume with a lot of content. The theory is the more the better. And in fact, dun dun dun, it's completely the opposite. There's a saying out there and plenty of books to support this, and it's less is more. Believe it or not. Not more is better, less is more. Okay? When you have a more fine-tuned, stripped down, if you will, I wouldn't say bare bones, but a reduced resume, you're going to have much greater success catching the reader's attention. Now, I'll tell you why in two aspects of it, 2 points of it. Number one, you may not know this. This is like a sub-bonus for worrying about loading up your resume with too much content. Most people don't know that when you submit your resume, if it's a moderate size and larger company, or they're using software like uploading to an email, to the cloud, to the web, your resume typically goes through software scanning systems. If you've not heard of that, it might be blowing your minds, but then think about it again. We can pick up our phones and say, hey Google, hey Siri, and our phones respond. In fact, mine's trying to react, but it's on mute, so they're always listening. The point is, guess what? Software systems can scan your resumes also. In fact, they do. And their purpose is to help businesses weed out candidates that aren't as strong as others, and also to identify potential hopefuls, those that rise above the rest and have greater skill sets, greater potential value. So with that said, that's why you need a streamlined resume. Now, after and only after your resume gets through the software scanning process. By the way, it has a name. In most places, it's called an ATS, Applicant Tracking System, or Applicant Tracking Software. I'm not here to make you concerned, worried, nervous, get the jitters, raise your anxiety or stress level. If you're looking for a job, you're going to be part of the process anyway, okay? Your resume is. So just accept it's there. You now have more knowledge. You now have more power because you understand what happens with the majority of resumes there. They're going to go through some type of software scanner. With that said, once your resume gets through that scanning software and it then goes in front of a human. It's qualified to go in front of a human, and I'll give you some pointers on that in a minute. I've got a few more tips for resume fails and how to fix them. Your resume then goes in front of a human or humans. They do something called skimming or scanning. Believe it or not, your first opportunity for your resume and you to earn an interview that goes in front of a human, they don't read your content. Say what? Yeah, that's right. They don't read your content. They skim over it or scan over it. You want to know how much time they take? I'll tell you. That was about 2, maybe 3 seconds. And that's all your resume gets, that pause, that skim, that scan. They're looking for something that catches their eye. Is the format attractive? Is there a good structure? So without good format, without good structure, you are likely to not make it to the next step, which is consideration for an interview. So, with that said, make sure your resume isn't sloppy, it isn't messy, and it's not overloaded. I kind of gave you multiple tips there for our first key point. Don't think more is better. In fact, it's the exact opposite. And if you're not sure what looks good, what looks bad, do you have any friends, family, fellow students, classmates, workers, coworkers that have graphic skills or that are into really good with artwork, artists, even if it's, handwork like clay or painting or whatever it is? Those people that have creative eyes can look at something instantly and say, wow, they can fall in love with it. I want to build something like that. I want to paint something like that. I want to build a clay structure, a pot, a pan. I want to build something like that. Or maybe they're welders or they're working towards engineering or a trade school. They can envision solutions in their minds. You want to team up with people like that to have them look at your resume if you don't hire a professional resume coach. And those people will look at your resume with creativity, with vision in their minds. Say, what do you think? Career Coach Craig told me, I heard on this crazy podcast, you have 3 seconds. Look at it. Don't read it. What do you think? Wow, this looks awesome. It's really energetic. It's got good bold headings. It looks wonderful, well organized. That's what you want. If you kind of get a blank stare from them after handing them your resume and literally counting 3 seconds, either in your head or on your phone, there's a problem. They might be concerned, afraid, unwilling to tell you the reality. But if they come back with, I didn't know where to start, it was overwhelming, there's too much on here, the font size is too small. I'm giving you a bunch of tips here, a lot of great stuff. If that's the case, you're in trouble. You're not likely to make it to the interview round, okay? Because the scanning function, if and only if your resume gets there, is going to be a big problem. So I've given you a lot of cool content there. Let's go on to another item I wanted to talk about. Believe it or not, you can actually forget your name and contact info, especially if you have a multi-page resume. I have seen it. I've even talked to Central Florida. I live in Central Florida, and I've even talked over the years to Central Florida recruiters. We've gone to lunch. They were talking about roundtables. They had a pile of resumes. Guys and ladies, we've got to get through these resumes today and pick the top 5 or 10 that we want to consider interviewing. Somehow, in this example, a 2-page resume got separated, and the second page of the resume got onto the table. And one of the recruiters, one of the either hiring managers, could be both positions, right? They can perform a dual role. They got this document, and they said, wow, this one sounds strong. Where's the contact info? Turns out it was the second page of a resume, and their info wasn't on it. Now, you might say, whoa, Craig, Career Coach Craig, pump the brakes. If it's a 2-page resume, they can look for the first page. They can put it together. You know what? They can go check their database for submissions and find me by doing a keyword search. All that's true. The problem? They're not going to. Anytime you make it difficult for someone to find you, someone to understand your skills, your values, that's an automatic fail. So make it easy for them. Give them the breadcrumbs to the solution. Contact information and name on every page, okay? You're laughing. I can see you. I can almost hear you through the microphone and through the speakers, but it happens. I've seen it. Now, stick with me. You should have more than one resume because hiring companies can see right through generic resumes. That means that for tip number 4, you want to align what interested you in the job, why you're applying, with your resume. Some keywords, some special statements in there. What does the company that you're going to apply for believe in? What do they talk about on their social media? What are some keywords? What are some graphics, some messages on their website? If they have a physical store, we call them brick and mortar stores because they're built, physically built, rather than say an online store, right? Have you visited the store? Have you driven by? What do you see? What do you smell? What do you feel? Now, that sounded kind of funny. I forget the chain that the subs. Is it, I think it's Jimmy John's, and if I'm wrong, forgive me. But it's a sub chain. It's in at least in Central Florida, and I don't know if it's for other states. But I think their sign says in neon graphics, it says free smells. They're telling you they're giving you something for free, and it's a trick, okay? It smells. Once you smell their awesome subs, their dough, their bread cooking, their meats, their cheeses, you're locked in, you're hooked. And that's their little tagline, free smells. I think that is anyway. So when I said to you, what did you notice? What did you see? What did you smell? I'm serious about that. If you can tie in your resume, your job application to a specific thing about that company, why you're interested, why you're attracted to them, that's how you slightly customize your resume. And that takes care of item number 3, rolling into item number 4. Don't use a generic resume. They can see right through them, and they're likely to skip you just as quick as turning a page of a newspaper, just as quick as turning a page on, a book. Just next, next, next. And then that customized resume, tweak it each and every time you apply to a position. Sounds like a lot of work. Ugh, Coach Craig. And all I'm saying is change a fraction of it. If you're in the entry-level world, if you've only had a job or two, your resume is likely only 1 page, maybe a page and a half. It's not a lot of work. A majority of what you have is already solid. You're going to tweak it so they feel you're talking to them, not at them. So I hope today's show, top resume fails and how to fix them, and I threw in a why, along with some bonus tips for each. I hope that's been helpful to you. Make sure you stick around for our next shows, because once you get the resume, it's natural you're going to want to interview, and you're going to want to know the top interviewing trends, techniques to use so that you interview with excellence, and where there's common failures so that you can avoid them and not waste your time interview after interview making the same mistakes when they've already been made. Learn from others. Learn from those that have gotten the jobs that they desired. You'll hear about that in our next coming shows. Stay tuned and subscribe. Career Growth Made Easy. We're on all the major players. Talk to you next week. I'm Career Coach Craig. See ya. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel. New episodes every Monday. In the meantime, why don't you follow us on social media at Craig Ansell on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To book a coaching appointment, download our free guides, or join our email list, check out the links in the description below.